a little shorter because I'm sure you want to run and grab.
We do it nice because we do it twice.
Yeah. It'll be clean. All right, let me know when you're ready. All right, we're here at TCA Truckload 2026 with Graig Morin. Got it. Sorry, my bad. We're doing this twice. We just realized that the audio wasn't coming through, so this is going to be expertly done and very pristine. So
that's how we roll anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. This is trucking. It's always well thought out and exactly to plan.
Yeah, or winging it.
Right.
It's
usually some sort of firestorm, but we'll make it work. So Graig, we were talking earlier, but give me a little story about your background with TCA and how you got involved with it.
So I met Jim Ward at McLeod User Conference, and he and the TCA team were there. I got to talking with him. I knew I wanted to join an organization, wasn't sure which one. And in talking with Jim and the crew that was there, they brought up Wreaths Across America, and they helped them out. And as soon as they said that, I was like, where do I sign?
Yeah.
Type of thing. And if you help Wreaths Across America, I'm all in and I'll help you. And from there, I just got as involved as I could with the organization, just helping out, jumping on committees, and being present.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it takes with these committees, or just any effort towards any of the associations is just showing up. I mean, that's truly the first thing that they tell you is be present, and be active.
Yeah, so, you get out what you put in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So get out there, network. That was my problem in the beginning. Is like when I was at that McLeod User Conference, I was the guy that would sit in the back corner, drink the beer by myself, and like,
sure.
I don't know anybody here. You're not going to know anybody if you're not out there meeting people. So
been to a few McLeod conferences myself. So yeah. They're big. There's lots of techie folk there and whatnot, and you have to throw yourself out there to get it going.
Yeah, so. My first year at TCA was the year after COVID. We were in Vegas, and one of the guys I met, Tim Krowski, he kind of took me aside, told me what was going on, gave me was a mentor.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I was just with him yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So and we're friends to this day. We sat next to each other most of the day. So it's meeting people like that help you along the way. And I'm now able to help people meet new members and get people going.
Great. So deeply rooted, as you said, on with TCA, but you're also, we were on back in November with Courtney talking about Wreaths Across America, and you're very active there as well.
Yep.
So if you don't mind, give us a little info on Wreaths Across America and what you do.
So I started with Wreaths the March before I opened. So I opened in July. That March, Wreaths Across America was exhibiting their mobile education exhibit at Matt's, and the family was there. And I met Rob Worcester, the founder's son, one of their sons. I said, I'm going to haul for you someday. Wait for my phone call. You'll be my first call. Oh, yeah, it ended up being my second phone call. But that year, we got a load to Massachusetts, did that one, and now we're doing 15 loads a year, roughly. I'm on the board of directors. I help Courtney and the transportation team spend a week up there during season. So it's kind of grown into this whole thing of, and basically I'm doing it in honor of my grandparents that fought World War II, Korea. So it's just one of those kind of full circle, like going out there and just honoring.
Yeah, no, that's a good purpose. I can get behind that and all the other purposes that come with it too. But yeah, I'm not former military myself, but my brother's retired from the Coast Guard. My dad was in the military, grandparents all in the military. That's one of the driving forces. Big respect for anyone in the military that served, any service member, and generally speaking, the trucking community is 100% behind that as well.
Yeah.
So, and you've been involved with Wreaths for how long?
This is I think I'm going into my 10th season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So that means the company's 10 years old.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations on that. We're coming up on 10 years ourselves at GLCS in June.
Yep.
So, it feels like yesterday, but it also feels like it was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I got a lot less hair and I'm a lot more gray.
I'm significantly more gray, and there's actually less hair, which is why I grew it out.
Yeah,
So
grow it out and comb it over.
Had to hide it. There's no comb over. If I get to a comb over, it's going off. Or it'll be short. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So, but so how has the market been treating you here over the last couple months too? Have you seen any impacts there?
So it's been rough. It's been rough for everyone. We were a little sheltered from it with we're 100% contracted rates, so we got sheltered quite a bit. But our customers also slowed down a little bit this past year for some reason, so that hit our bottom line because when they're slow, we're slow. So it at the end of the day, we're fine. But we've started seeing in the past few weeks even just a little uptick. So now there's like little breadcrumbs in this.
Sure.
So slow and steady, I think we're going to start rebounding. And this is a customer we've been calling on them for 7 years or so. And finally they're like, we want you guys to haul our freight. What do we have to do?
Yeah.
Well, here's my price. All right, let's go. Yeah. So now it's starting to. They were all kind of standoffish for the past few years. They wouldn't even take our call for the most part. So, now it's starting to turn a little bit, I think.
Well, that's positive news. I think everybody is very hopeful, and it's certainly probably top of mind at this conference. It's been top of mind almost everyone I sit down with, client-wise and otherwise. First thing they ask me is how am I hearing about, or what am I hearing about the market, and what's my opinion? So, absolutely good to hear that you're seeing the upticks as well.
Yep.
So Greg, anything else on TCA that you have to say, or anything else that you have that's kind of big news?
So as far as TCA goes, and if you're a new member here or thinking of becoming a new member, my name is Greg. I referred you, just so you know. Plugging that Champions Club.
we actually probably have 5 or 6 people on the expo floor that I don't think I referred appropriately. I just said, hey, show up at TCA, do your thing. So apparently I need to do a better job.
Yeah, you can go out there and I got my tag. I got my new medallion right here.
Fair. I saw that. Yeah, I saw when they referred you. So I need to do a better job, or we need to do a better job of making sure that we're telling TCA what we're doing. I saw Tim just got it too.
Yeah, Tim got it too. Yeah. So and when you are here, just get involved. Grab a drink, talk to somebody walking by.
Yeah. Everybody has an opinion here.
Yeah.
We're all company owners for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because you might get here and be overwhelmed and think no one wants to talk to you, no one cares, but everyone here cares. And I've not met anyone here at TCA that has ever turned me away.
Sure.
It's always very friendly, very approachable. And like I said, you get out what you put in.
Absolutely.
So if you're standing in the corner, you're not getting anything else.
Right. I think that goes with, it's not with every conference, but the associations for the most part in transportation logistics, if you're going to stand in the corner, you're not going to get anything done. For the most part, if you reach out and go up and talk to people, they're going to give you some sort of, it's very rare you're going to get a cold shoulder.
Yep.
But absolutely this group is 100%. I mean, I've never had that situation where you go up and talk to somebody and they shun you in any way, shape, or form. So you can learn a lot here if you're a new operator, maybe don't have that 10, 20 years in the business. There's a lot to be learned from this organization.
Absolutely.
All right, Greg, where can people find you?
You can find me at browndogcarriers.com. I'm on Facebook under Brown Dog Carriers and LinkedIn.
Perfect.
Greg Morin on LinkedIn. So
absolutely appreciate the time. Look forward to chatting with you over the next couple of days, and have a great conference.
Yeah, you as well. And thanks for having me.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We're here with Tom Curee with
That's good.
Curee.
You had to do it. You were going to do it.
I was going to do
I'm going to start butchering all your letters now.
Fair enough. No, it's cute. It's cute. I get it. Tom and I go back a long ways. We were just talking about this with a couple other people. long time since Tom had hair.
Yeah, I
and,
did.
and no beard, and
That's
I
right.
did not have gray hair, and was not worried about the length of it because it's thin. So we go back a long
Yeah, we do.
ways. So
Yeah.
appreciate you stopping by to talk with us. Tell us a little bit about Curee
Yeah.
and what you guys are up to.
Well, Nate, we are busy. We're fortunate to be in that position.
Absolutely.
I tell our team all the time when we add more customers, sometimes that your first instinct is, oh my gosh, how are we going to handle all this? And I say, that's a great problem to solve.
Right.
And so we live in appointment scheduling. All we do is we schedule pickup and delivery appointments for trucking companies, brokerages, 3PLs, private fleets, you name it. If you've got to schedule pickup and delivery appointments, that's what we do.
I mean, we've encountered, we probably have, I don't think we've quantified how many common customers we have together, but you're typically talked about quite a bit, and you're one of the few solutions that is just unequivocally people are happy with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you take the appointment problem and you make it go away. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I spent on the phone with some sort of frozen facility waiting. I won't name them, but you know them all.
Oh, absolutely.
And so does everyone else that's listening. But you guys take that problem and make it go away in a pretty significant quantity. So you're tied into how many different solutions, how many different companies?
Yeah, we've got over 50 different connections that we've built out now. And what we've always said is we're laser focused on this problem. I think there's a lot of people that want to promise you they can do everything.
Right.
There's a lot of agentic AI solutions that are saying, oh, we can do everything that you've ever dreamed of. And that's great if you want to tell people that. I'm a little bit more of an honest guy. All right. I'm not going to tell you I can do everything in the world.
Sure.
I'm the first one to tell people, hey, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's not the plan, because appointment scheduling is incredibly complex. When you think about a shipment, you get a shipment from a customer, there's really only one lever that you can pull that controls what happens to that load. And it's the appointment. You can't call the customer and say, hey, you know what, this load from Dallas to Chicago, it'd be really great if it actually came out of Scottsdale, Arizona, right? Like you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
And so what we've done is we've just focused in on appointment scheduling. So we've got 50 plus different connections. We do email scheduling. We do AI voice scheduling. I mean, if it's a scheduling process, we are doing it at this point. And so we're constantly learning. We're learning from our customers. We're learning how to get better. We're learning how to continue to scale. And so we're at this really exciting stage where people know the problem now, and we have a really, really beautiful path to be able to actually solve it.
I think you've built that trust out with the customer base too.
Yeah.
So you have that's just going to make it exponential as you continue to build out the product. People are going to feel like they're behind because they're not working with you. So I think there's a few folks here over the last couple of conferences that I've talked to that have said that. So what's new at Curee?
Yeah.
What are you guys tackling immediately?
I would say one of the newest things that we've done is the deployment of our voice solution. We had a customer that came to us. They schedule hundreds and hundreds of appointments actually in Home Depot stores.
Okay.
And so you can't schedule, there's no platform for that. You actually have to call into the store. You have to go through the phone tree. You have to get a hold of someone. You have to be able to schedule. Well, these are nursery stock loads. They're 15 drop loads. They're the best loads you could ever get.
I unfortunately am very familiar with them in another life. So I used to do those exact.
You probably
loads.
did.
I'm guessing they originate out of this state.
They may.
Yeah, most of them. So
you take these 15 stop loads that all require calls. So you're talking 15 calls that you had reps making. We're immediately triggering those, and we schedule them. And within less than 90 days, we were scheduling over 90% of their appointments via voice. And so that's been really, really exciting for the team. And then, we're just continuing to dig deeper into the data behind that, right? And so working some of the unique deals that we're working directly with shippers to make sure that we're getting access to those prime appointments for our customers specifically is significant. And you'll continue to hear more and more about that over the next couple of months.
Perfect. What do you think of TCA?
Look, I think TCA is great. It's a great association to be a part of. we've been excited. We've plugged in a little bit more this year
Yep.
as we've kind of gotten to know the association. And so we're excited to be here. We're excited to walk around, meet more people, continue to establish that relationship. I think they've been a great organization for us to work with coming in. I mean, this is our second year being at the TCA, and so we're learning more, and we're excited about the lot of great faces that we've been seeing here and people we've been meeting.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm super happy for you. I'm super excited about the success of Q'd and going back many years, how your career has progressed.
Yeah,
so I think when we first reconnected was a McLeod conference a number of years ago when you were still on the services side.
Yeah.
So, but super excited about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you guys have been great. I mean, I know we've been able to talk to a lot of different mutual customers and about the support that you guys are providing. And so it's always I mean, the number one thing I heard when I first came into this industry, I was at my first conference. My first conference was a match show.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that just ripped the Band-Aid off this kid, right?
Huge show.
And
I
remember
be there in a couple weeks.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. And I remember meeting someone there, and they said to me, "Is this your first trade show?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." Wow, this is a lot. And he said to me, he says, "You're about to find out how small this industry is."
Right.
And when I heard that, I said, "That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life." You don't understand the little town that I come from. This is crazy. And then here you and I are bumping into each other, 15 years later, still having the same talk about freight, right?
And there are 150 people in this expo hall that I have that same story with.
Exactly.
So,
it's incredible. Yeah.
You can't move. And that's part of TCA, especially if you're a truckload guy.
Yeah.
Whether you're a brokerage or a truckload carrier, it really doesn't matter once you've kind of built in the network. It is the largest, smallest industry out there. And that's also why you don't burn bridges.
That's
ensure
exactly
that you're the
keep
honest
to your word.
guy and no matter what happens, you're always honest and you do everything you can to do what you say you're going to do.
That's what you have to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Tom, I appreciate you coming on. We should do a full episode.
We're going to have to do it.
I mean, we're 140 episodes in now.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
But at some point,
I'm waiting for 150. 150 is my number, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll make it happen. So appreciate it.
All right. Good seeing
thanks
you.
a lot, Tom.
Yep.
Right. All right. TCA 2026, TCA Truckload 2026. And I'm here with someone who's become a friend over the last year, Tapan with Bubba.ai.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Absolutely. It's you have an interesting story. We became aware of you at Matt's last year. That was when you guys launched, correct?
Yes.
And you had a big booth that was very noticeable. And
on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. That Matt's is definitely a place to make a statement, and you made a statement. And then since then, I've seen you pretty much at every major show especially over the last few months, but throughout the year you were around. So tell us about Bubba.ai. Tell us what you do, and what sort of customers, and kind of your journey over the last year.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Started Bubba last year. We launched in Mid-American Trucking Show as a company. And our goal is how we can use AI specifically focused for fleets, trucking companies. I've seen a lot of AI focused on brokers. There was no one doing for carriers.
Sure.
And my previous company, we worked for carriers. We were doing telematics. So I have experience working with carriers. And I'm a techie. I like to build things.
Fair enough.
So yeah, after having 10,000 carriers in my previous company, I got bored. So I was like, hey, I need to build something new. So
okay,
that's how Bubba was born.
So you launched in March of last year, or at least that was your official launch, March of last year. And how has the last year gone for you? I mean, you've grown, you've added quite a few carriers on as customers.
Yeah, I mean, we are blessed in some sense. We launched in Matt's. Then our product was really launched to wide public in June.
Okay.
Since last 6-7 months, we onboarded around 2,000 carriers that range from owner operators to all the way to 1,000 truck company. Now we are in talks with like 5,000-10,000 truck companies.
That's great. That's great. So what would an owner operator use your product for?
Owner operator used for dispatch, like booking loads.
Okay.
So Bubba can actually connect with DAT Truck Stop. We are official partners with them. And then Bubba goes and calls the broker in parallel, 10 parallel calls at the same time, book the freight, negotiate and book the freight.
Gotcha. And do you have a lot of owner operators that use it for that and the negotiation as well?
Negotiation. So owner operator sets the price saying, I want, let's say Dallas to Chicago, $2,000 is my floor. Bubba will go try to get anything about 2,000 for you.
So when you set it, I mean, I guess tell me how that actually works. So if you say, I want to book a load from Chicago to LA, Bubba will watch for that load, Chicago to LA, or does it only respond when it's put on an order?
So first we do verification on the carrier. The way to get an account with Bubba is you have to sign up with your email account that has to be registered with the FMCSA.
Okay.
So we can read the emails,
That's
we
great.
can respond to the email. So that's one of the validation steps. We assign a phone number to them as well for Bubba. And they have to also connect their telematics. Without telematics connection, they cannot use Bubba. So now we know how many trucks they have, what's their real location, how many hours they have left, and then they plan their trip. So in the trip, they simply say, I want to go from Chicago to LA in your example. And we already know it's a reefer dry.
Yeah.
And they put some parameters saying, I don't want any smelly good in my trailer.
Sure.
And Bubba will go call the broker, say, hey, what's the commodity? If it says it's seafood, it will reject the freight.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So and the reason why you're grabbing the telematics data is, well, obviously operationally, you know that the truck is actually available, but you're eliminating any sort of fraudulent behavior then by getting that telematics data, ensuring that the truck you're not booking over and using an AI solution to somehow grab a lot of freight and move it without one truck. So.
Yeah, so exactly, right? So there are multiple types of fraud. One is you say, I have 100 trucks, but really you registered only 10. So you're trying to book for 100 and then kind of you double brokerage or whatever you do with it. So it avoids that. Second is you cannot fake that my truck is in Chicago if it's sitting in Dallas. So these are the main two things from the ELD.
Okay.
And then we can keep track of it, track and trace. So broker later calls, hey, where is my truck? What's the status on it? Bubba can tell the broker what it is.
Do the track and trace and interact with them. So that's that's the common use case for a owner operator. Let's say I have 200 trucks and I want to work with Bubba.ai. What's the most common use case for that?
So it starts with a basic one, like an order entry into the TMS to all the way to load planning. So now they can plan the load. We do basic load planning for you.
Okay.
And then we fill in the gaps with spot market.
Okay.
So these are the three things. And the new thing which we are launching is the dispatch on the driver side.
Okay.
So now we have
calling the dispatcher and so what do you mean by dispatch?
Yes.
I don't want to make an assumption there. Obviously, dispatch can be a big term.
Can mean a lot. Yes. So Bubba acts as their internal dispatcher. So drivers get a mobile application.
Okay.
And in their app, there is only mic. There is nothing else.
Okay.
So they talk to Bubba as if they're talking to the dispatcher, and Bubba will give them all the instructions about the load. If any message is sent by the dispatcher, it not just reads out, but driver can ask question n number of times, 10 times. Hey, remind me again the trailer number. Remind me again what's the temperature I need to put in here.
Sure.
So it takes them through that process.
Okay.
So we made the complete workflow voice. Without any keyboard. They don't have access to keyboard. They can take photos for bill of lading, but that's it.
So they basically hit a button and Bubba becomes available to them and they can talk to Bubba just like they would talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
24/7 available dispatcher for them.
Absolutely.
We connect with their TMS systems for large carriers. So we know what load they are dispatching. We connect with their email accounts. We can connect with their existing phone system.
Okay.
Like Ring Central or
any VoIP system.
Yeah, VoIP systems, PBX.
Okay. So what you've accomplished quite a bit in a year. We were talking about this the other day. So it's been a fast journey for you, but what do you have coming up next for your company?
So as we are moving through the journey, we are getting a lot of first owner operators for dispatch. Now, as we go to larger carriers, there are a lot of different use cases like AR and AP use cases, how we
Mhm.
can do account receivables. So we have created an agent now that can actually read through not just your TMS, but create an intelligence about each and every customer you have using not just TMS, but the phone conversation, the email conversations you have had over the last 6 months, over the last year.
Sure.
And then it can interact based on that. So your responses are not like based on the current data, but actually the history, the the relationship, so to call it, with your customer,
Okay.
with your driver.
So it's taking a larger data set that's looking at the holistic relationship with the customer, the driver, whomever, instead of
Yes.
just what's happening over a shorter period of time.
And our goal is to have mic available for dispatcher who is sitting in the office, even for larger companies, and avoid keyboard as much as possible.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
they do is they press the space bar, start talking to Bubba,
Okay.
saying, "Hey, can you check on Josh, see if he's still sitting there?" Release the space bar. Bubba goes, processes it, finds out where Josh is, gets his number, calls him, or phones
Great.
him on his mobile app, checks what's going on, reply back.
Excellent. So what do you think of TCA? This is your first year at TCA? I mean, as Bubba.
As Bubba, yes, this is the first year. I've been here after like 4 years now. For my
Okay.
previous company, we came like pre-COVID and then once
Gotcha.
after COVID. But
Gotcha. Yeah. How has things been for you this year?
It's always been amazing here.
Yeah.
Very different than Matt's for sure.
Well, it's
But-
a different attendee.
Yes,
And there's
different
not
attendees.
70,000 people here.
No, so it's very
you know,
focused. You can meet people, you can have a real conversation. Yeah, that's what we are here about. And looks like this year the TCA is also different than the previous years.
Yeah.
It is much more condensed and more focused,
Yeah.
which I like.
Yeah. It's definitely been a good show. You know, it's like TCA to me is coming to visit a whole bunch of people I've known for a long time. So it's almost like alumni. My background's in the truckload side of the industry. So it's always nice to come here and visit people. What's something that you've taken away from the conference this year or that resonates with you?
So one of the, being in AI, I can focus on that. All the companies want to try something, want to do something in AI.
Yep.
Many of them don't know what it is. Some of them, they are like, oh, we don't have budget for AI, or we just
Sure.
don't want to do it. But I think they are not realizing it's not that expensive to actually deploy AI. It's way cheaper than whatever you do today.
Right.
And it's not like everything you're trying today will work out. You have to try 5 different things, but you have
Sure.
to be ahead of the curve, so that what one thing works out of 5, you will be the first one to have it, and you'll be the first one to really make it use at a wide scale.
No, I appreciate that perspective. My next question was going to be what do you recommend to fleets that are looking at deploying AI, but you kind of answered that.
I would say just try things out, and it will move way faster than any other tech out there.
Yeah.
Like in 2 years, things will be drastically different. Like,
I agree. I think that, one thing that I'm looking forward to is when we start calling AI something other than AI, so that, your use cases of AI have a label to them. Someone else's have. And, there's just an assumption that there's automation and AI utilized, because you walk around here and everybody's got an AI solution, but you have to ask a question on what's your AI solution. So as opposed to, we handle order management, or we handle driver capacity planning that includes driver discussions, or whatever the case might be. So
I know some vendors, a lot of people who have been around for a while, right, as a software company like TMS or Telematics or others, they are adding some pieces of AI into their product, which will work. But the problem is it's still disintegrated with other parts of your operations.
Right.
That's where companies like us who come in and say how we can rethink in the new AI world of each and every parts of the operation, how we can reinvent that, how we can tie it all together. And so we think of ourselves as just the intelligence layer that sits on top of your existing systems, and not replacing them, but augmenting them, taking to the next level.
Great. Well, Tapan, I appreciate the time. It's been great, great chatting with you. I'll be seeing you here in a few weeks. Well, I don't know. I didn't even ask if you're going to be at TMC. Are you going to be?
Yes.
Okay.
we're
Well,
gonna
I'll
be
see you at
TMC,
TMC, and then I'll
and
see
then
you
at
at
Matt's.
Matt's.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'll
And
see
we
you
are at
everywhere as usual.
NPTC as well if you're going there.
So it's a discussion, but I there's only so many places that we have a couple of crews, but
I think we should start sending our agents, AI agents over there.
I don't know about that, so I'm not quite sure that one works. But if you can combine it with those robots we saw at Manifest,
Oh yeah.
there you go. Then you can.
Elon
then
is
you
going to
can,
launch them soon, I guess.
yeah, absolutely.
Walking around.
So, all right, Tapan. Well, I appreciate it. Where can people find you at?
Bubba.ai. Everything is out there.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Funny.
All right.
Yeah. All right. We're back at TCA Truckload 2026, and I'm here with my friends from PCS. So I've got John and Jason from PCS. Guys, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, thanks, Nate. I'm Jason Douglas. I'm the Vice President of Community Engagement here at PCS. Been here for about 5 months. In the industry, I have 18 years of experience on the carrier side, holding every position from local driver, dispatcher to Vice President of Operations. So happy to be here, happy to be on the vendor side and PCS and the direction we're headed.
Wonderful to have you as well. You're a former customer of GLCS before you moved to the dark side.
Yes, sir.
So great to have you here. John, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, absolutely. John Partain, Chief Customer Officer here with PCS Software. Just joined early this year, but excited to be here at my first TCA.
Beautiful. It's your first TCA.
First TCA.
Oh, wow.
And his
Wow.
first podcast.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Okay.
now Jason's giving me all the
right.
secrets.
We've had a lot of people that have done first podcasts. Lots of times we have trucking company owners on and whatnot, and they've not really done it before. So, don't worry about it. We promise it'll be nice and easy and you won't have anything to worry about.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about PCS a little bit. For those that don't know what PCS is, I mean, it's a product that's been around quite a while, but why don't we go over a brief overview of PCS and see what questions come from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So PCS has actually been in the game for almost 30 years, around since 1997. But we help carriers optimize their operations with our TMS platform, powered by Cortex AI to automate and streamline decision-making. So it's all about helping remove inefficiencies from our carriers' business so that they can be more efficient in their operation and really engineer their own profits.
So let's talk about Cortex AI just a little bit. And if there's things you can talk about and can't talk about, just do this if I'm saying something you shouldn't, or if I'm asking something I shouldn't. So there aren't a lot of, I'm going to call it established PMSs that have any sort of, they maybe have an AI layer of some case, but the agentic side is not deeply rooted. So talk about, what you're using AI for with PCS.
I think I'll say that, so Mark Hill, our CEO, he started about 3 years ago now, and the ship was going one direction. He turned it 180, and we were 90 degrees there with the higher John. Now we're 180 direction the other way. But when he came in, he has a strong software background, and he saw the writing on the wall of AI. So as soon as he got here, that work started to come in play. So that's why we're a little ahead of the game. And what we're seeing with the fleets that we have right now, we have 40 of our customers on it. And the results are amazing. So it's helping them from back calls to doing some of that mundane work and then really automating processes and getting that workflow streamlined.
Great.
Yeah, I would probably add to that, when we think about PCS's tagline of, the TMS that takes you from stress to streamline, Cortex really just falls in line with what that vision looks like and really what our mission is at PCS. Everything from, opportunity creation and management to load dispatching to, Jason started talking about backhaul booster, right? When we think about reducing deadhead miles and making sure that we've helping our carriers be successful, it's great to have an AI agent that will go and search for and capture and negotiate for loads on your behalf as you're already out running lanes.
Yeah, we had two panels that we kind of talked about. We had a webinar with TCA, and then yesterday we talked about busy isn't the same as productive, and that's really what our main goal is helping fleets not just be busy, but being productive with that time. So say you have a driver that delivers in Orlando on Friday, Backhaul Booster can start looking for that with the criteria that you need. And if it matches your rate per mile, the amount of deadhead miles you need, it'll book that for you in your sleep. You have that load covered.
So it reaches out and negotiates in the spot market for the backhaul.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You've built in the parameters that say I need, coming out of Florida, you need, virtually nothing from rate per mile.
Whatever it is to get
But,
out free.
Just give me the load. As long as it's over $350
Yeah.
or whatever, you're gonna be interested in it if you're heading out to Georgia or wherever. Or maybe my rates are off now. Maybe it's probably more like $550, but
Yeah, a
whatever the
little
case
bit,
is.
but
So,
not.
yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah,
It's
fair
really not, I'll add to that. It's not just about, as Jason mentions, letting Cortex do the work for you, but we also have our voice agent Cora. So if you need someone to actually work on your behalf to go and secure a load and negotiate, our voice agent Cora is there ready to do it for you as well.
Okay.
And it's also about not replacing people, but adding AI layer on top of it. So your team is that much better and they can focus on what really matters. Because if you have a dispatcher that's spending 4 hours on one backhaul, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 4 hours is a long time. And if you figure X amount per hour, you're easily eating into that. And some backhauls are a pain.
Yeah.
As you know,
It's not uncommon to
both
spend that
yeah.
long to find it.
Yeah, you've got that odd truck. You got the Florida truck in Orlando in a slow market, and you're probably better just running the truck out. But this works on it while you're sleeping for the most part. Right? It's just going to keep looking for that load to get posted.
Yeah, it's opportunity management. So it's pulling your emails. It has eyes on it now, so it can read and bring it to you. Opportunities that you might not have known that fits in your criteria. So there's a bunch of layers to it, but it's basically it's just your extra 5 people in the office to help you expand with what you have without adding more heads and letting your people be productive.
And that's our usual take on AI. So we have a couple of interesting takes. First off, with any of our customers that we're working with, the best TMS is the TMS that you own. Prove us otherwise, right? So then the second one, when we're dealing with so many AI scenarios that it's not necessarily a cost reduction. It can be a cost reduction.
Sure.
But ultimately applying those people that have free time to increase revenue.
Exactly.
Yep.
The human relationship, the calling around, if all of a sudden you end up with 1, 2, 3, 5 people, or in some cases we've seen 30 to 60 become reduced work, you realign, you find a way to point them. These are all educated folks in your business for the most part. And if you can realign them to revenue generating capacity in some way, shape, or form, you're seeing a huge uptick right now, especially as this is emerging. It's not everybody's deployed AI appropriately. So as it's emerging, it hasn't reduced the entire cost of the industry yet.
Right.
So you can apply it to a growth period. So and so they hear that you're taking that application to it is in alignment with what we've been saying to our customer base.
Well, you can't replace that institutional knowledge, that biller that's been with you for 30 years.
Right.
You need to make sure they pass it down to the right people, not just AI and have it in the system. So we're very much in the people and relationship business. We just have this tool of AI added to it.
So what else do you have going on at PCS? I know you guys are everywhere around here at TCA this year. PCS decided to show up.
We did
in a big way.
A lot of that with the hire of John, he's revamping our customer service operations. Everything from our success relies on our customer success. And that's very much John's wheelhouse. I'll let him talk about that a little bit. But with bringing him on, we upgraded it big time.
Well, congratulations, John. You have a lot to live up to based on that.
Yeah, I'd say so. Thanks, Jason. Excited to be here. Like I said, been here since the beginning of the year. When I think about, customer success management, as I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of our customers here at TCA face to face so early on, we talk about how it's a symbiotic relationship, right? Like their success depends on our success and our success depends on theirs. That's key in the operation.
Absolutely. I mean, that's TMS life.
Yeah.
So you are part of your customers. So
And me coming from a transportation background, I might be the only one in the industry with vice president of community and engagement.
I was
title.
going to hit on that at some point.
Yeah.
So
Even the employees that work there were like, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, I'm not sure myself, but I got a good idea. And then now 5 months later, it very much aligns with me, who I am and my skills, and then what we're bringing. And then it aligns with PCS as a whole. So think of our whole ecosystem. I'm bringing that together and bringing our industry relations, everything, our partners, and making an ecosystem that thrives for our customers.
yeah, that's great. I think this is a perfect role for you. We didn't know each other that well when you were actually a customer,
Right.
but we were social media connected, and you were definitely out there doing all the things as a carrier. So I think bringing that knowledge forward to anyone is great. And you already took care of the title. That was on my list of questions to ask, is what exactly does that mean? So it's great to see, PCS kind of doubling down on a lot of that. That's things that they haven't done in the past.
Sure.
So,
And that, I mean, me and John are both very customer service oriented. So you have two people full of empathy to the company that just want to succeed. And we have the right people in the right seats, which we haven't had before. And I think we're all rowing the right direction. And everybody's, they get it, they got it, they want it. We've all showed up. Now we just got to provide the value to our customers and future customers.
Yeah.
So what's your takeaway from TCA this year? I think it's been a good show, but if you had a couple takeaways, main topics that we're talking about, we already kind of hit on AI. So, that everybody says AI everywhere, but
Yeah.
Take that answer however you want. What's the takeaway from TCA?
I think one of the things that resonated for me this morning in the first session I attended was around empowering your people and the importance of community and culture, and also just you can't focus on everything. So what data matters and how do you impact that data, and how does it really help you thrive in your operation overall?
Was that a takeaway from the Survive and Thrive
It was.
discussion?
It was indeed.
Yeah, fair enough. That was a very good topic, and it had four small, I wouldn't even call them necessarily small, depends on how you define it, but upwards of 150, 200 trucks or smaller, discussing about, how they manage their business. And, there was quite a few good nuggets that came out of that.
I think they'll, sorry, Jason.
You're good.
Yeah, I think that you have four guys that have not just, decent size operations, but they're operations that have existed before, during, and after COVID.
Right.
And that makes a huge difference in how you approach the business in the industry.
Absolutely.
One of them, I came to Stokes Trucking, Ty Walker, that was up there, good friend of mine. I worked there for 2 years, 22 to 24. And they are doing the right things. They're members of TCA. They're in the TPP profitability group.
Right.
They're doing the right things. And from the carriers that I'm talking here that are doing well, they're part of TPP groups. They're part of associations. They're getting their people involved. They're getting their people out there. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because we're still very much relationship based.
Absolutely. You talk about the TPP program. That's the Transportation Profitability Program. So not the TPP program, it's just TPP, but
Right.
Fair enough. If you are a member, and this actually was released by ATRI last year or 2 years ago, if you are a member of an organization, be it a state organization or one of the national organizations, you are by design and demographically a safer, better operation just because you're part of that organization.
1,000%.
So, now, that being said, you come to a event like this, or you're a partner with an organization of any kind, you get what you put into it.
Yep.
So if you show up and you don't say, hey, I have an idea, or what are you doing here? Everyone here wants to talk about what they're doing, how they're doing it. They don't want to give away their secret sauce, but they're here to make the industry better. And being a part of that, I think, is important. And all the exhibitors here, all the sponsors this year, equally, you are a better organization as a technology provider, as a solution provider, as a service provider, if you're part of these organizations as well and actively supporting them.
Absolutely. TCA gave me my first start of speaking and engaging, and I could never give back what I've been given from TCA. That's why I'm where I'm at today.
Yeah.
I kind of started to glow and find myself in these conferences and stretch out to more conferences. So I'm very much a huge supporter of TCA. We're a small plug. We sponsor Small Carrier University, which is another tool that's out there that's only going to get better. And it's going to make the carriers, as they're losing that institutional knowledge, just another step where your dispatcher can get a certification, or your recruiting team can have a training class for them. So, the winner of that year, I think, were you in there? She did 130 hours.
I actually had to step out for a call, so I missed that. I always try to get there for the awards, but there's so many. There's actually quite a bit of awards.
There's a lot.
Here,
Yeah.
So you can't get them all. Well, some people can, but I can't.
But 130 hours of education
Wow.
for being a TCA member that she just busted through on it. So it was amazing to see, and we're happy to be a part of that.
That's great, and we appreciate you guys, helping out there too. So
Absolutely.
Anything else going on? Any other thoughts from this event?
No, I one thing that I want to say is that people know maybe PCS from the past. Over the last few years, we've changed, and give PCS a chance. If you want to look at us, look us up, talk to any of us. We're a different company. We have different technology. We finally have a beautiful interface that we haven't had. And that's what new people that came into the industry in this space, they started with a flashy interface, right? We had the nuts and bolts, but not the flashy interface. Now we have everything and a Cortex on top of that.
And to be clear, the PCS is a transportation management system.
Yes, sir.
That I think we alluded to that earlier, but call it out directly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
PCS exists to partner with carriers to do the hard work.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, where can people find you if they want to reach out?
Well, if you're here at TCA, you can stop by booth 704. We'll be there, the exhibit hall today and tomorrow. Sorry, 702. Want to make sure I correct that. Booth 702. And you can find us on pcssoft.com and connect with us there as well.
Yeah, or LinkedIn, reach out to either of us, anybody on our team. And then, what was that? He cut this out. What was that, Hugo?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, PCS LinkedIn. Please give us a follow. We're growing our LinkedIn presence and our social media. And as you can see from here, we're ramping up our content and any value that we can add to our customers and carriers as well.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate the sponsorship and everything of TCA this year. You guys are kind of all over the place, and it's certainly been noticed and felt. So
awesome. That was the intention.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of people with good intentions, big hearts, and a winning team atmosphere. Even if we can't help you, we still want to be your friend. Come talk to us.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, exactly like you. Yes.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference. I look forward to future conversations.
Appreciate it, Nate.
All right. All right. I'm here with Zach Schuchart, the Senior Vice President of Enterprise Sales with Optimal Dynamics. And I'm sure you've probably heard of Optimal Dynamics. If you haven't, you're probably living in a box these days. So, but Zach, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about, a lot of people already know what Optimal Dynamics is about, but I today there was a press release. I sat in on the press release. Optimal Dynamics is doing a lot more than when you first started.
Oh, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about Optimal Dynamics on your kind of elevator pitch level.
Yeah, so it's been exciting times at OD. When I started with the company, and coming on 5 years now, we are a transportation decision system. And what that means is we focus on fleet operators. Most of our customers are for-hire truckload carriers. We have some shippers, and in fact, I'm focusing a lot of my time now on the shippers that are operating large fleets and capture capacity. But we're built off of 4 decades of research and development at Princeton University. So our co-founder Warren Powell spent some of his early days working with the likes of Schneider National, applying systems to these complex problems that really presented themselves after deregulation of how do you get a driver back safely and profitably once you start to send them long distances. So, so the transportation decision system terminology refers to the decision automation for driver managers, for planners, and now with our new product Scale, further north in the decision tree, and looking at CSR automation, looking at loads that are not in the system, or aren't not in the network yet, and that are being presented to the organization.
I watched a little bit on Scale today, and I was very impressed, especially the ability to reach out to spot market and negotiate freight, taking into account velocity, taking into account revenue per mile, pretty much any parameter you kind of feed it, right?
Yeah. So what's interesting in the differentiator that OD has is really a decision native agentic system. So, everybody is talking about agents right now, but agents, by themselves are not very intelligent with regard to understanding the true objective function of a customer or a company. So, yes, it's great to bring freight into the network, but what is that freight doing? When do you reject it? How are you negotiating? And how are you actually understanding what value bringing that load into your network is solving for your organization, right? So, yes, we can go out and chase rate per mile. We can go out to the spot market and automate negotiations to go win freight. But if that freight really isn't solving problems, very valuable problems on the network, you could be bringing freight that you don't want into your network just because you're going to bidding on it.
Right. I used to do network analysis in another life, and that's some complicated stuff. But obviously, putting the AI layer, whether it's AI or automation, speeds that up, and the lifetime capabilities of that. None of us that did network optimization back in the day looked at spot market as a possibility. So this does that in that layer where you can add spot market.
Yeah, and it's taking it even one step further than spot market. It's understanding your commitments, and I think a lot of carriers are unfortunately undisciplined with how they deal with commitments in their network. So this is actually solving the commitment problem as well. So we can actually understand commitments, fill rates, understanding when our shipper customers are tendering us data and how we're accepting them into the network, and knowing when to say, no, we're not taking this, or yes, we can take it, but it's not going to be at the contracted rate that I'm operating for you on the number one position of the route guide.
Sure. It's giving you that fast math without having to pull out the calculator and take into probably account only a limited number of variables.
Very much so. And candidly, that's why humans have been sitting in the seat for so long.
Right.
We're very good at solving very complex problems and distilling that problem down into a singular decision. And systems can do it, but it takes a tremendous amount of compute power to do it. And kind of the why us, why now is that, we have the elegant math with utilizing all of the tools within the AI toolbox, and now the unlocking of deploying decision native agents to go out and actually solve problems for you. But that married to the massive amount of on-demand compute power that we have, that we're able to solve a 1,000 truck network in every 3 or 4 minutes for our customer.
Yeah, that's hard to chase down. Trying to figure that out is more strategy back in the day than
for sure
than tactic.
So it was a lot of tribal knowledge. So there was a massive difference between a planner or driver manager that was sitting in the seat that was with the organization for 15 years versus a new guy coming into the network. And now we actually can deploy systems to solve the mathematical problem, right? So, we don't wave our hands and say AI, but we do deploy all the tools within the AI toolbox for customer networks. So it's a lot of machine and reinforcement learning, a lot of pattern recognition that we're understanding. And then we actually build value functions for our customers. So we understand the actual value of the driver, truck, and trailer landing at a certain location in the future. So we know that accepting loads that maximize the value function for a driver irrespective of rate per mile. So that's the disconnect here. So it's easy to go out and chase rate per mile.
Yep.
But it's very valuable to be intentional with freight that is going to land your truck tomorrow or the next day in an area where you have freight
Right.
coming out that's very valuable for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have the term I'm going to use going forward, if you bless it, which is literally taking the freight network and moving it from a strategy to a tactic.
Absolutely.
And you can't do it at a human level. I'm going to wait just a minute while this announcement comes out here. So it's a little loud. I'm going to guess that's coming through on the mics. So, but yeah, it takes that human level and makes it so much faster. So one question I have for you is your crew is running around here with shirts on.
Yes.
And it says AI is dumb.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's an explanation behind that. I'm hoping that there is, and that you can give it to them.
There is, and we were very intentional with it.
Right.
Because when we start to use the ubiquitous term of AI, we all see, kind of the horror stories of LLMs kind of hallucinating and creating things that are out there. And LLMs are far from being deployed in the optimization world. They're very
math
helpful.
is hard.
Yes. Right. But in specific, when you start to look at the deployment of agents, agents are the buzzword of the last year. Agents are very good at repeating a process and doing what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
But the challenge is if you don't have a decision native agent, if you're not telling the agent what exactly you want it to solve, it will go out and it will just start repeating whatever you're asking it to do. And the big unlock that we're seeing is that, and why we use the phrase AI is dumb, but it really doesn't have to be. As long as it's being supported by a decision layer, and Optimal Dynamics is the decision company, we have decades of IP that is the foundational layer of what it's telling the agents to do. So when we tell the agents to go out and procure freight, whether that be in the spot market or on customer portals, it's being driven by the value functions from the optimization layer. So the optimization engine is saying, hey, agent 1, 2, 3, 4, go out and procure this freight because we have a gap in the network here. We're still we're still under our commitment with our customers. So go out and get this freight now because it solves this problem.
So when it goes out and gets the freight, you're tied in with the solicitation of that customer. So it'll send an email, it'll make a phone call.
So it's not a voice agent.
Okay.
So it's a mainly EDI. So we're working with a lot of the order transactional, the EDI companies. But it does parse emails, so it will read emails and understands email tenders as well, and it will negotiate on behalf of the carrier to the shipper.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So Optimal Dynamics, when it first came out, was largely targeting, I'm not going to say enterprise, but certainly larger organizations. And over the last period of time, year or two, or however long, we're seeing it pop up more at smaller fleets, even small market, 50 truck fleets, 100 truck fleets. How are you seeing them apply? How did that down market roll happen? Where's the return on investment? Because typically and historically throughout my 30-year career, optimization only worked for like 200-300 truck fleets or larger. And even at 200-300 truck fleets, if you had a static network, there wasn't a lot to talk about there. So how does it work down market for everyone?
And that's actually, some of our first customers were 100 truck operations. And there does need to be a foundation of the network of customer freight. So if you're just going out and trying to operate in the spot market, there's a way to make an optimized decision there. But if you're making an optimized decision around core customer and capacity that you're guaranteeing towards the customer, and then filling the gaps around the network to support that kind of the backbone of the network, that's where we really see it driving a tremendous amount of value for even small carriers. Now, that doesn't take the need away for the carrier to be disciplined. And in fact, the optimization engine enables them to be much more, disciplined and intentional in the network, who they're actually winning freight from, how they're responding to bids, what they're guaranteeing to their customers. All of that leads to more utility in the network.
Perfect. So TCA, How's the conference been?
It's been phenomenal. TCA has been a great conference for us and a great partner. But man, there's a lot going on down in Orlando this year, isn't there?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's actually 3 conferences that stacked over each other here, all at one time. One in the beginning, then TCA, and we have Food Shippers across the street.
Yep.
So, which we were both talking about, we'll be over there tonight,
Yep.
or me tonight, maybe you.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot going on in Orlando. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm always happy. I got here on Wednesday, so I don't leave till obviously Wednesday. That's when we wrap up here. But TCA is a great organization. It's
They
one
really
that I've
are.
been a member of for a long time.
Yeah,
so.
they are, and I think their benchmarking groups that they have the resources that they provide to supporting the trucking companies out there that are trying to do the right thing, trying to learn from each other, trying to be disciplined, and then also move the industry forward, right? So if you look at the several task force that TCA kind of creates over the course of the year, it's wildly valuable to the organization, and then just negotiating and acting on behalf of their members is really cool to see.
Absolutely. I've said that so many times now, so I'm only going to briefly touch on it. But yeah, the TPP program is absolutely stellar. Jack Porter started that when I was a child, and which Jack will find that funny if he hears. But the Shepard Dunn and team are doing a great job there. It was talked about today during several of the sessions. So if you are curious, are you operating well? Pretty much any member organization in the TCA can join, and anyone that's a member is a safer, more profitable organization. Typically, if you stay for a year or 2 or longer, you get a lot of insight and a lot of intelligence around what's the best practice here, regardless of what segment of the industry that you're in.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of interacting with quite a few TPP members, and I've always been impressed with their level of sharing. They're able to, They really are passionate about deploying best practices in the industry. It's not just about gobbling IP and holding things close to the hip. They really want to influence the industry and leave it better than where they found it.
Generally speaking, if you're a senior leader at a trucking company, brokerage, well, I'm going to specifically say trucking company, you're interested in the health of the industry. And that if you're a member of an organization, you're certainly interested in the health of the industry. And it is nice to see that level of sharing. Some companies don't do that. You'll find that they're not part of these programs. And everybody has their secret sauce and their customer lists and whatnot. But I find generally the same thing, that whether you're a member here or a member of another organization or you're a member of a state organization, you're a member for a reason, and that's to share positive things for the industry and help to achieve them.
Absolutely.
All right. So any other things about optimal dynamics that we need to touch base on right at the moment? Or
No, it's a great time to be in transportation.
Yeah.
There's just a tremendous amount of opportunity out there, and it is not a pitch just to go out there and automate, everything that's out there. There is such a need to augment human decisions and allow humans to do what humans do very well, and that's the very messy problems that exist in transportation. That's kind of defines our industry, right? And dealing with customer problems, driver satisfaction and safety problems, those are all meant to be in human hands. And our pitch to everyone is that computers do math very well. And a lot of a transportation decision is a math problem, and we should really be deploying the most advanced tech out there to help drive margin and utility in an industry where this is an industry of pennies.
There we go again.
Yeah,
we're getting all kinds of noises.
That's okay.
So to cap that a little bit, over the last 15 years, who would have thought 15 years ago that there'd be a solution like yours?
I know. Yeah.
Not to mention, AI is, and I'm not categorically I was just talking about this earlier. AI as a blanket term is really difficult.
It's a toolbox.
But who would have thought that we would be at where we are right now?
Yeah.
It wasn't in my predictions 10 years ago. But here we are. And now, a lot of us are going, here's what's going to happen the next year, maybe 2 years, but we can't really foresee too far down the road. And transportation is extremely complex. So, I used to say, trucking isn't rocket science, but do you guys have anybody from NASA or anything like working on your team?
We have quite a few Princeton PhDs, and I
Close
think a few
enough.
MIT folks that work with us. I went to Alabama, so I am very privileged to be able to work with very, very smart people.
Well, I know of a few folks in the industry that have previously worked for NASA that are literally rocket science, and it's not uncommon to encounter them, but trucking is rocket science. We're dealing with some extremely complex problems. So,
yep, absolutely.
So where can people find you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, they can go to optimaldynamics.com, and we try to make ourselves available and present in most of the industry trade shows that are out there. But if you are a carrier, even a small carrier, we'd love to talk to you because scale now is accessing the much smaller capacity operators out there, and we're just passionate about really going out and making an impact at the margin level for these carriers and our customers.
Perfect. Optimaldynamics.com.
Optimaldynamics.com.
All right. Appreciate the time. Thanks for swinging by. It's been great chatting with you.
Good to see you.
All right. Okay. All right. We're here with Mo Saleh with Greatway Transportation. You're out of Romulus, Michigan, Detroit area. Mo, appreciate you coming on and chatting with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You got a few trucks based out of Michigan there, I think. So, but tell us a little about yourself, what you do, and where you've come from.
Sure. So, Greatway Transportation started in 2009. A couple trucks out of a small little truck stop in Romulus, Michigan. And we've been able to evolve now. We're over 500 power units across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. We've grown to be not just a truckload carrier. We're now actually an asset-based 3PL provider. And we're providing logistics services to the automotive industry mainly and other general commodity companies.
Congratulations on that success.
Thank you.
Growing a 550 truck fleet is not exactly easy. So
a lot of work, definitely.
Been there, done that. So what's your role with the company?
I'm the president and CEO.
Okay. Did you actually start the company then, or did you come in?
Started it from the ground up.
Great. So also been there, done that. So that's a great story then. So 550 trucks. What year again?
2009.
2009. So 17 years old this year.
Yes.
So how did you get into the industry?
Well, I stumbled upon a truck that father bought for a good friend of his.
Okay.
And was running it as an owner-operator back in the day. And it wasn't running that good with a driver in it. And my curiosity got into it. And I was like, hey, let me take this over. And one truck led to a second truck and a third truck. And as an owner-operator, fleet owner, and said, you know what, let me go get my own authority. And went through the ups and downs and the battles that it comes with. And then in 2012, we got our big break, and it's been going since then.
Excellent. Love that story. You don't hear that happening, at least to a 550 truck fleet. You don't hear that happening that often anymore today.
Correct,
so, lots of us. So I started originally as a driver back in the 90s and spent some time doing that for a while. Eventually ended up in an office, learned that, ran a fleet, grew a fleet, then had my own fleet. Similar story on starting out behind the wheel for the most part and growing from there. So a little bit of a call out. I see you're wearing the PCS lanyard.
Yes.
So you're a customer of PCS.
We are. PCS actually invited us to come to TCA and speak at one of their huddles and roundtables.
Okay.
And it's been a good event so far.
Good. Is this your first time at a TCA?
Yes, my first time at TCA.
Oh, now I'm going to have a million questions.
Yes.
So, to real quick, you said Mexico, Canada, U.S., 550 trucks. You're doing a lot of cross-border, a lot of supply, a lot of auto parts to OEM. So you're hauling the cases and the racks and everything into OEMs. So, but that's primarily what you do as an organization, is that kind of contract freight for automotive or anyone?
Right now, the auto business is around 50% of our business. And Mark's around 50%.
Okay.
We do a lot of general commodity. We actually do leather boots. We do some apparel. We do some produce. Mix and match a lot of things.
So when you said you have a or you're a 3PL as well, so
Correct.
so you have a brokerage or a freight management
Yes.
portion and whatnot. So, so first time at TCA, what is your initial thoughts?
It's a very exciting event. A lot of carriers, a lot of vendors. From a carrier standpoint, if you're looking for partners, if you're looking for collaboration, if you're looking for other businesses that can help strengthen their current organization, it's definitely the place to be. There's a lot of AI technology and a lot of software companies providing their services that can take the trucking industry. You've been in it for a while.
Right.
It's a little old school.
We can be, yes.
Bringing this new technology in and actually getting the old heads and the new heads kind of to play in the same park together on the same playing ground. So that's exciting because we need this technology to simplify and streamline our processes. And from a carrier standpoint, I'm very intrigued with what everybody has to offer. Is it all going to work? I don't know. We'll see. But there's some very reputable companies.
Well, as an industry, we have a tendency of probably taking 3 to 5 steps forward, and then we need to take 4 steps back. You know, that's a common thing for us. But you know, you have to take those 4 steps forward or 5 steps forward or whatever to get ahead in some way, shape, or form. That's just we love trial and error.
Oh yeah, we do.
So, but you know, certainly large expo hall, lots and lots of solutions, like you said, lots of AI. That's been a topic that just won't stop. You know, and there's some good things there, but overall, partnerships here, not only between the technology companies but the carriers themselves, I think is high. So are you involved in any other organizations like TCA?
Yeah, so we're part of the Michigan Transportation Group, the Detroit Transportation Group. We're also involved with automotive logistics. They do conferences in the U.S. and Mexico as well.
With that.
In Europe, they're actually based out of England. So the team there has some very, very useful information, some good partnerships and collaboration from the OEM and the Tier 1 standpoint. So those are the ones that we're mainly involved in. And from this event here at TCA, it's actually allowing us now to join with TCA as a truckload partner as well.
Great. Glad to hear that. We've been involved with TCA for quite some time. So the growth and the health of the organization is important to us, as well as a few other national organizations. But I'm glad to hear you say that. What are some takeaways outside of the partnership side? What are some other takeaways that you might have, you know, topics that resonate with you or anything like that?
Well, as you know, in the transportation world today, in today's age, we're running into a lot of regulations and a lot of government involvement. And seeing TCA heavily involved in Congress and DC and fighting for the trucking industry is exciting. I mean, there's some bad players out there that hurt the industry, and seeing what TCA is doing and how they're lobbying for the true and strong truckers of America is very exciting.
Yeah. Well, it's such a huge topic with commuting carriers, with freight fraud, with cybersecurity, with all of the different subjects and how they can impact you. I mean, one wrong move as a carrier and you're liable for a load or worse. And some loads are worth a lot of money. So, you know, the lobbying and the education that they're presenting forward is definitely some tools that, you know, in many cases you might have a few levers that other companies here may not because of your size. But if you're a small organization and need education in a quick way, this is a great spot for it.
Right. Yeah, the education here is phenomenal, especially for the smaller carriers out there that need that extra boost and that manpower. TCA can definitely help with that.
So circling back on PCS, they came over and did an interview with us a little while ago. So you've been on their product for some time?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. What do you have to say about PCS?
TMS systems, a lot of them do, the end result is to do the same thing.
Yep.
But you're looking for some simplicity. You're looking for not too much downtime to get your staff trained up to utilize the system. And from what we've seen from a lot of TMS systems, they're all great, but PCS has that extra quick learning factor. It's not hard to utilize. I mean, if you have a little bit of technology background from using other systems, you'll catch on to PCS within a couple of days. They're growing. They have a new CEO of the company that's been with them a couple of years. They're putting a good team together. They have their Cortex AI that's coming out. Their new interface is coming out. So we're excited to see what they have. They're partnering up as well with a lot of other IT suppliers, and I'm excited to see what they're doing.
Yeah, they're definitely here in force. They've made a big footprint this year that we haven't seen in the past. We've been very aware of PCS in the past, and are building out our partnership with them as well. Have you been able to use Cortex at all yet?
We started the beta testing. We're actually a couple weeks into it. We did a PCS summit in Chicago late last year, and we got to experience a lot with what Cortex has to offer. And it's pretty much going to be a one-stop shop.
Great.
From a TMS standpoint. They're actually incorporating the maintenance, the compliance side, the back office support, the accounting side, and the operations all together. And today they kind of shared some secrets. I don't know if I should say, but they got some WMS stuff in and out. But it's from what we provide as a asset-based 3PL, it's the closest thing to building your own software.
Great. That's a hot take there. So 550 trucks, 3PL. How much of your business percentage-wise is asset-based?
75%.
So 25% managed transportation, and you're doing it all with PCS?
All with PCS.
Great.
Currently, we have a couple outside WMS providers
Sure.
that we're working with on a few of our warehouses across the U.S., but we're looking to consolidate that with PCS as well.
So what's next for Greatwide Transportation? What's on your radar?
Well, we definitely want to add more trucks. We're looking for quality drivers. We're looking for customers that are looking for a true U.S.-based company that can provide the intra-Mexico business, incorporate that with the U.S. and Canada business. We're a door-to-door service, and our assets in Mexico as well are our equipment. We're not utilizing too many partners. We actually own our own trucks and company in Mexico.
Okay.
We are expanding that. We are in the Ramos Arizpe right now is our headquarters in Mexico, and we are going into Saleh in Mexico City, the Bajío region as well, such as Curee and SLP, incorporating the transportation without borders and providing consolidation service, 3PL service, a truckload service, and allow that customer to have full visibility across all 3 countries.
So that's a big deal. So you actually have your own assets, your own company that you operate as an entity in Mexico. At your size, there are other companies, Panther, Ryder. Well, actually, Ryder I don't think has assets. There's some larger companies that do that. So at your size, operating in Mexico as well is pretty unique.
It is. We're playing with the big boys. But we have the perfect personnel. We have a great team together. We have the technology and the infrastructure to support the security and the transparency across the borders.
That's great. Mo, I appreciate you coming by and chatting. I'll probably get your info and somewhere down the road do more of a formal chat if you're up to it, or put you on a panel with our show. We do a lot with automotive and have for many years. That's how I started. Well, second thing I did with the company, but at one time 60% of our business was automotive oriented, and love to chat with you more about that somewhere down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
So if people want to reach out to you or find you or just need to get a hold of the company, how can they do that?
Well, they can call us directly, 313-551 3021, or our website, greatwaytrans.com. All our contact information's on there, and we're in Romulus, Michigan. Very easy to find, a few minutes away from Detroit Metro Airport. And anytime anybody wants to reach out, our team is 24/7.
Perfect. Greatway Transportation, everybody. Appreciate the time, Mo.
Thank you.
All right.